The new mini box Art of Atlantis has been revealed. It only provides support for a couple of archetypes. Will it be enough to shake up the meta? Let's find out. What's up, guys? DLE Kamel here, and I am here today with the mini box review at last. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Arts of Atlantis. We will be waiting officially 61 days for this mini box. The longest wait we've ever had for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Box, regular release box schedule. And before we get into the review, I would just like to quickly let you guys know that I think it is absolutely disgusting that Konami has changed the box release schedule without letting us know. We went without any new cards for 60 days. They had several events with characters that could have used support, and it was extremely not good for them to postpone a mini box this long when we desperately needed cards. So I'm very upset at that and very disgusted by the fact that we had to wait 60 cards for stuff like this. It's just not very good, not something that I want them to make a habit of in the future. And yeah, I'm just very upset about it, so I'd let you guys know on that front. So going into this Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Art of Atlantis, besides us having to wait 2 months for this mini box, this mini box does bring support for the Chronomaly and Gimmick Puppet archetypes specifically into Duel Links. And this box seems to be very targeted at those two archetypes and just providing all-around toolbox Xyz monsters for them to use. Probably one of the most focused boxes that we've seen overall. However, I do believe this is one of the more lesser impactful boxes to the entire game, but we shall see. So before I really got into what I was upset about, besides mentioning that at the video because I had to make sure you guys hear that, I want to start off with what I really like about this box. And one thing I really like about this box is the Gimmick Puppet support. I believe that Gimmick Puppet has gotten a lot of really good support in this box, and that it can contribute to it being a tier 3 or top tier deck in some cases. So without further ado, we're going to start off with the UR card, Junk Puppet. Now, I'm sorry, before I get into the card, I just want to make sure you guys watch Rise Art of Atlantis box. He goes over the entire card list. He does the initial first impressions box review. I want to get in and zero in on some cards that I think are going to be worth talking about. Basically the highlights of this box. So first, we have Junk Puppet, a normal spell. Target one Gimmick Puppet monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You can only activate one Junk Puppet per turn. So this card is good for a number of reasons, right? Gimmick Puppets are an archetype where you are able to send machines, in this case Gimmick Puppets, to the graveyard at a pretty quick rate. However, we did not have many cards in the archetype yet that could capitalize very easily off of the graveyard. Junk Puppet is one of those cards. Just coming to me off the top of my head, the most used and meta skill with Gimmick Puppets is Relinquish Puppet, which requires you to send a level 8 Gimmick Puppet from your deck to the graveyard in order to play Gimmick Puppet Destroy. With this, you are allowed to send any level 8 Gimmick Puppet to your graveyard, and you can immediately summon that monster back to the field with the effect of Junk Puppet. No matter if you top deck the level 8 monster that you are trying to send to the graveyard or not, you are in a position to at least get one level 8 from the grave. And of course, you have your Gimmick Puppet Destroy on the field, which will special summon level 8s from your hand. So you only need one now to get into a rank 8 Xyz monster. That, and I'm sure there are various other plays you can make. Junk Puppet makes it really easy to just pull your destroyed or used up Gimmick Puppets, maybe for an Xyz summon that didn't work. Materials that got interrupted, you have a lot more recovery options with this spell card. You can make a lot of top deck plays. If you make multiple graveyard plays at once, I can only imagine summoning Jury Doll from your graveyard via its own effect, and then summoning another level 8 Gimmick Puppet. Any that you want to make an easy summon, amazing. The next Gimmick Puppet card that I want to talk about that is also pretty good is Condolence Puppet. This is also a normal spell, and it reads as follows. Send Gimmick Puppet monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard, up to the number of monsters your opponent controls that were special summoned from the extra deck, +1. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Machine Xyz monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while face up on the field. So this one does a couple things. First, you can send the Gimmick Puppets from your deck to the graveyard, depending on how many extra deck monsters your opponent controls, +1. So if they control none, then you can send one Gimmick Puppet. If they control an extra deck monster, you can send 2 Gimmick Puppets from your deck to the graveyard. So this card is a lot more situational. However, I do believe it's going to be fulfilling like a Vampire's Desire type of purpose. This is definitely looking like a side deck card for Condolence Puppet, because you cannot account for your opponent being able to have extra deck monsters. And I feel that you using up a slot in your deck to send a monster from your deck to the graveyard, period, and then you can banish it and target an Xyz you control and can't be destroyed by card effects. I think this card is too situational. I think it would be a lot better in a meta where every single meta deck we face are extra deck monsters, although that may be the case right now. Many decks are extra deck monsters, but this card is not something that you would like to open up. And for that, I'm going to say that this is going to be a good Gimmick Puppet side deck card. Not something I think you want to include in the main deck, but it does have its own purpose, getting you those Gimmick Puppets in your graveyard and then protecting your Xyz monster later on. So these are some great options for the Gimmick Puppet deck. And I do think, while I'm on the topic of things that I like, I do think that this is going to be, the Gimmick Puppets are going to be the main winner from this box. They have their weaknesses kind of checked on, and they will be able to perform in the new meta since they have some new strength now. So a couple other things that I liked, one being Gorgonic Guardian. This is an SR rank 3 dark rock Xyz monster. Requires 2 level 3 rock type monsters. Once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 face up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. These effects last until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can detach 1 monster on. You can target one monster on the field with 0 attack, destroy it. Guys, this card, while it is being added alongside a lot of the Chronomalies support, and Chronomalies, there are level 3 Chronomalies, they can make rank 3s. I do believe that this card will be best utilized in magnets, right? Magnets make level 3s the best. They have an effect monster that does not rely on the extra deck, so a lot of their level 3s, which all of them are, often go to waste on Xyz monsters like Soul of Silver Mountain and Ghost Trick Alucard. Both Xyz monsters who have good effects, but they aren't quick effects. Gorgonic Guardian has an effect that can be activated during either player's turn, which is a massive step up from the previous 2 Xyz monsters that Magnets were forced to use. Now they have an effect that they can activate on your opponent's turn, make the attack 0, and negate the effects. 2 effects that deck did not have access to previously. So Magnets, I believe this is going to be the best place to play this. However, it is also going to be a valid option in any deck that runs level 3 rock types. This is one of the more powerful Xyz monsters in the game. And yeah, it has a little bit of a specific summoning mechanic. Rock decks will be able to make use of it. Other than that, guys, I'm going to be quite honest with you. There is not much else from this box that I like. That is going to be it for things that I like. Now we're going to be getting into the negatory. The first thing being the chronomalies that we got were quite bare bones. They weren't really... First of all, the main thing is they did not give us any of the new chronomaly support that was just released in the TCG. Of course, it was a long shot that we were going to get any of that stuff. We have to wait until we have Trey's level up rewards and his new drops from his unlock event, of course. But on paper, it seems like they're sticking with number 6 being Trey's main monster. And we read number 6 in a previous video. It only really benefits from your opponent using number monsters. Excuse me, from you making several Xyz monsters. And then eventually a number monster. And then you are able to send your equipped monster to the grave, half your opponent's life points. Pretty good if you're able to climb the Xyz chain with chronomalies. But again, it is very situational. This is a monster that does not have any protection whatsoever. Does not have to have its, effect resolve even. It can be directly equipped to it when it's summoned and then it instantly removed from the field. The two really good cards that we, or I should say 3 good cards that we got from chronomalies were Chronomaly Crystal Skull, Chronomaly Nebra Disc, and Chronomaly Soul Monolith. I talked about them as cards that we would really need in chronomalies for them to really pop off as a deck. And we got some of these, but we didn't get any of the newer ones, but these will do just fine. Crystal Skull and rank 3. You're not going to be using it much for your other plays, but you're going to be using it to searching your chronomalies, and if there's any way for you to get them from the grave, you can use them to make Gorgonic Guardian. This is a rock. Chronomalies are all rocks, so you'll be able to make that. So Chronomaly Crystal Skull, yeah, discard, send in the graveyard, add a chronomaly, whatever you want to do. Nebra Disc, this is the first chronomaly where I believe that this is one of the core cards that we needed for the deck to work. And it says when it is normal summon, you get a search. If this card is in the graveyard and all monsters you control are chronomalies, you can special summon it in defense. You cannot activate other cards except chronomaly cards and effects. You cannot activate cards or effects. So that means spell, trap, monster, whatever. You can't activate anything except chronomaly cards. You can only use one Chronomaly Nebra Disc effect per turn. So part of the reason why I think Konami was comfortable giving us a card this powerful was because it does have the overbearing restriction of you cannot activate any cards except Chronomaly cards. That is pretty insane for you being able to special summon it in defense from the grave after you use it for an Xyz summon. But it is what it is. It's a very powerful Chronomaly card, and they are going to need something like this in order to Xyz summon frequently and make their archetype work. The last card that we talked about that was on the Chronomaly list was Chronomaly Soul of Monolith. And this just lets you special summon a Chronomaly that becomes level 6 so that you can make Atlantis. That is it. I think that Chronomalies are looking to be a number 36 Chronomaly Chateau Hayuk and Chronomaly Atlantis Turbo. And all I can hope right now are that the skills are good enough to I can only hope that the skills are good enough to warrant you making these two monsters your win condition. Consistency skills would be nice, but I feel like if you run multiple copies of all of these cards that we got in this box, you'll be consistent enough to a certain degree. This deck is lacking powerful proactive effects. However, number 36 does have you covered on that if you're able to make a rank 4 early game. Other than that, I think Chronomalies are looking a little bit underrepresented in this deck. Of course, we will have to see skills. Let me know what you guys think on Chronomalies. There are some other Chronomaly cards in the box, but we already have, we've already gone over them in rarity changes, whatever. I really just wanted to talk about the cards that I specifically thought would be up in contention for Chronomalies entering the game. Something like this we knew was going to be in the game because of the rarity changes. So, really quickly, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the box. I do not like this box for a couple reasons. Evil Heroes, who also had a character released not too long ago, got completely shafted. I feel like all of August and July kind of felt like Konami felt like they didn't happen, or the events that took place during them were not major enough, or they were not contributing to what they had planned in their grand scheme, so they just kind of pushed them to the side. Evil Heroes are completely unrepresented in this box, and they were dead on arrival, and this was a huge missed opportunity for them to include some of the more rock Evil Hero monsters. It's really a shame that they are not in this box, and it sucks that they released an archetype like that, dead on arrival, and made us wait 2 months for a mini box for that released cards for archetypes. One that came out way before in like May, and another one that is coming out, you know, just as this box will be coming out. So I definitely do not agree with Konami here. I think they could have done this way better, and it was foolish for them to try to squeeze everything into this mini box because they clearly did not accomplish anything concrete. I don't believe. There's a couple good cards here, but I don't think that they even supported Chronomalies efficiently enough to become a top tier deck. The cards in this box, the only one that I can think of that will really help it are Nebra Disc and the Soul Monolith. Anything else, it's really up for grabs. I don't think that this is what we needed right now. We needed something more supporting all the new archetypes that we had access to that just became dead. Human Puppets and Chronomalies will have their initial extra wave of support, which is good, and I think that that's what you should look forward to if you're thinking about this box. Otherwise, this is an easy skip. There are no generically good cards in this box. It is only good if you have the intention of playing a Machine or Rock Xyz deck, that being Chronomaly or Gimmick Puppets. So, that being said, I'm quite disappointed in this box. I thought it would be a lot better and include some more general cards and cards for Evil Heroes, man. Shame on Konami for not putting any Evil Hero cards in this box. Huge wasted opportunity there. I'm losing faith in them every day. So that's going to be it from me, guys. If you want to know what we're doing on any of the new stuff coming out this week, new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, Cross Duel, Master Duel, leave us a comment, ask us what we're doing. And of course, we have 6 tournaments a week. The Discord's free, new player help is free. Always be sure to come up in there and see what's up. That's going to be it from me. Peace out, guys.